Hello, my fellow unique pronunciations of Worcestershire sauce. I'm Mr. Church. In this video, I'm going to show you how to place these barn doors and the Wildwood Tavern doors and free place doors in a blueprint. So I did show how to do this in my last video, which I'm going to link in the description, and you can check it out if you want to see more. But I wanted to add this footage in here because last time I said to look in another video instead of putting everything I've ever done into one video. Someone got mad. So instead what I'm going to do from now on is just have everything I've ever made and done and refer to in one video. So that way you don't have to go watch other videos. Anyway, so you get it to where these two doors are next to each other, which again is shown in my other video, and then you blueprint just the rug and the two doors, and then when you spam click it, eventually it goes down. But you don't really want to have to spam click a blueprint, especially if you want to fine tune place it. So then we're going to put down a big flat rug. You want it to be a super thin one. And then you want to spam click place that blueprint on top of this rug, which will give you a blueprint that'll go down anytime you want. So the reason why I'm showing this, even though I showed it in my last video, is because it got me thinking, when I did this, that there's the Wildwood Tavern door, I think it's called, and it's a door that you can't replace with other doors, which means you can't use it except in the Wildwood Tavern thing. And so if I was able to make a blueprint like this for that door, we would then be able to use it. Because now the only thing we can do right now is break it and remove the prefab and then build around it, which is kind of limiting. So I did the same thing. I broke the door, moved the prefab over by half a door, and then this let me snap it in. I imagine that I just got lucky. This might take 7,000 tries to do, so don't be surprised. And then I blueprinted the rug and the two doors like I did before, but even spamming it on top of this carpet wasn't letting me. So I knew I'd have to do something a little bit more complicated. So it would let me place this blueprint back next to the doorway, which is weird. But I wanted to get a carpet underneath those doors to give it support in the initial blueprint, because I think that's what's keeping me from being able to place it on the big rug. So I want to put that rug underneath the doors, but I don't want it to intersect with the doors. So to get around that, I'm going to drop it down a little bit so that it's underneath the floor. This way, when I put that blueprint back in there, the doors will be sitting above that and they won't be sitting in it. Because if I try to make a blueprint where they're sitting in it, it's either not going to place or it's just going to start screaming profanities at me. And why do I need that when I have area chat? You know what I mean? So I'm going to go into free cam mode, blueprint the mat, making sure that it's underneath the doors, blueprint the two doors, and then I'm going to name it something creative that I haven't thought of before, like 0, 0, 0, or something like that. Now we have this, and spam clicking this on that rug will let us place it down, I think. I hoped when I made it. And it did work, so that was good. So that does answer the question. We can use these doors now, but to make a better blueprint that we can actually use, since spam clicking isn't really going to work when we're building because you can't really control where it goes, I'm going to spam click this on top of this big rug and try to get the same thing to happen that we did with the barn doors, which will give us a blueprint that'll go down every time without having to do this stupid shit. So eventually it did go down, and you want to make sure that it's on top of the rug when it does, and then you want to blueprint the big rug in the two doors, and that's your new blueprint. And you're going to name it something super good, like 0, 0, I don't know, something good. And now we have this, and this will go down 100% of the time. I'm probably going to redo this and use a different carpet, because this one, as you can see, you can't get it close to other shit because it has a really terrible collision. There's a better rug that I'm going to use later in the video. I would recommend using that one. But now we can make stuff using these doors, even though God doesn't want us to. Todd doesn't want us to for some reason. But it also got me thinking, I wonder if we can do this with normal doors in the game, because you know how sometimes you want to build around pre-existing structures and you want to put a door in it, but you can't fit a full wall in, so you can't get a door in. So anyway, using the same logic, I thought I'd try doors that specifically snap to prefabs, like these ones, the mobile home trailer and stuff like that, because those will probably have similar logic to them. So first, I'm going to put in a normal door that'll snap in. When I replace it to the ones that only snap to prefabs, it's not going to be locked up to the wall anymore, so I can remove the wall without having to replace it to a full or flat wall or whatever. And then I found that it did in fact snap to itself. And this is even easier than the Wildwood Tavern and the barn. It seems to have less limitations when I'm trying to build it. So this blueprint is also 2-part blueprint to make, but it's way easier than the other one. So you're just going to put down any floor item that you want. I use rugs because why not? They're right there. And besides, they also lag out the build menu because they're in the floor decor item section. So then you're going to blueprint those 3 things, and I sped up the footage so it would look like I'm a speed typer. But I'm not. You can't speed type when you have this much lag. Then I'm going to take the carpet that I mentioned earlier. Oh, first I'm going to show you this doesn't place. This doesn't place down because doors need support underneath them or they won't go down. So that's why that's not working. And the reason why they're sometimes able to place down on these rugs when we spam click is because rugs are kind of support enough, but the game still hates you a little bit. So keep that in mind. Todd hates you, Bethesda hates you. Give them your money, and they're going to hate you more. So that's what I do. So spam click the shit out of it, and eventually it will go down. I recommend just screaming a bunch and sweating. I forgot to turn the AC on, so Anyway, I'm going to spam click the fuck out of it, and then eventually it does place. And then you're going to blueprint this rug and the 2 doors. The big rug and the 2 doors. And the reason why this is better than that pink rug is the pink rug has weird collision around the sides of it, and it doesn't let you get up close to stuff as much. So I definitely recommend using this rug instead if you have it. Or I would try one of the in-game flat rugs, but don't use those stupid pink one or that blue one with the modern whatever. So then you overwrite the one you just had, the free play store that you just had, and now this will go down every time you want it, anywhere you want it, and you have these doors. And so you can get it up close to stuff and then delete the door you're not going to use and then replace the door you're going to use with the one you want, and it's beautiful. So the doors that you can use for this are any that will snap only to a prefab, except for the bungalow doors I found and the train doors. The prison car and the normal train doors seemed to not follow the same logic. But every other prefab that I have, the prefab doors that I had worked for this. So like, I'll show you some of them so you have an idea of what I'm talking about, because you might not have all the ones I have, but you'll still be able to make it if you have any one of these. So even this weird big fat Brotherhood of Steel one works because it is a prefab snapping only door. But look how stupid it is. Look, it'll snap next to it massively. I don't know if you can hear the rain that's coming into the window. That's fine. I'm not going to edit that out so you guys can know that I live on the edge. Anyway, you're probably not going to want to use these unless that's your only option because of how big they are. You might as well just use a fucking, blueprint for a wall. But the Flying Fortress is one of them. This one will be snapping on the other side because this one opens the other direction. And they seem to snap like to the hinges of each other or something like that. I don't know. Which is kind of silly. But yeah, there's a lot of places where you won't be able to fit a full wall to get a door in, and then you'd have to have like a floor underneath it, even if you could get it in, and there's not space or room, and this will let you shove it into places that wouldn't otherwise fit. It would be ideal if we could just place doors down, but no, we can't, because why would we? And by the way, the communist bunker door doesn't work for some reason. It has the snapping, but it's always red. I think it's intersecting. But I would try maybe this one probably works because the other one does, and this one might work, but I don't have it, so, and I'm not going to buy that because it's hideous. But maybe one of those will work if you don't have any of the ones I have. But yeah, the mobile home door, the destroyed trailer, and the mega, what is it called? And also the landlubber door will all work for this. So any of those will work, and then you can just place it wherever you want. And another thing that this allows you to do, if you don't have the means, is you can actually place this down, and then you can use it to free place to get walls into places as well. So change it to a door that'll snap to walls, and then you can snap a wall to it, and then you can get rid of the door, and then you have a wall left behind. This might work out for you if you don't have catwalks yet. You could still make this blueprint. And also I want to add, this has nothing to do with what I've been showing, but they changed the Old Glory fireplace so it sits on the ground now as well. Which means you can also use this to free place and get walls in without using a blueprint. But it's not as great, you know, you can't really fine-tune place it because of how big the fireplace chunk is, but I thought I would add that because it is a little thing you can do, and so why not show it, and then you can do it, I guess. But I'm not going to do it because it's stupid, you know what I mean? There's a bunch of better ways to do it, but if this is the only thing you have, then I thought I'd mention it. I don't have it in my Old Glory video, which I will link because they changed it after I made the video, so I thought I'd include it. I think I've over-explained that enough, so what's next? Yeah, I'm going to show you really quick one of the many applications of this blueprint that you can use, and it's... Honestly, I'm really excited to see what some people are going to be able to come up with, because you could do a lot of this stuff before, but it was such a ball ache to do that no one would really want to unless they had some kind of issue, you know, and then people were worried about them and stuff. But, like, you could make a, you know, a sunroom or something with, like, these doors, lock them so people don't open them. Stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with them. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. I really do appreciate that, and it's a huge way to support me. If you guys are interested in joining me in that way, the link for that is in the description. I also stream on Twitch, and I will see you guys in the next video.